Ideas. There are ideas that change the way we work.
In other centuries, they would have called it magic.
Ideas that got us connected.
Hold the line a minute.
That made us communicate better with each other.
Hello?
Ideas that got smarter and smarter and smarter. They're the ones that caused revolutions.
Goodbye, David.
And others that seem like a thing of the past now. There are the ones that are obsolete and ideas that promised us freedom, but in the end, with funny ideas. We thought of something different. A simple idea that turns idle workspace into places where you connect with companies, where you share knowledge with other creative minds or digital nomads. Where you are is where you work. You spend fewer hours on the road, and you gain precious time for a better work-life balance. We like to think so, but we'll let you be the judge of that. Check out WorkHero on workhero.com. WorkHero, connecting space and knowledge.
Pues yo buscaba una fuente de ingresos segura que me permitiese tener tiempo libre para mis proyectos, tanto personales como profesionales. Y después de estudiar las diferentes opciones, me decanté por la Wash por ser la única franquicia que no exige cánones ni se lleva una comisión de tus beneficios. Es simplemente la inversión inicial, por lo tanto no hay sorpresas. Y hoy en día me siento feliz de pertenecer a la familia de la Wash por muchos motivos. Me han dado todas las facilidades para poder emprender mi propio negocio y además de ser un negocio llave en mano, te ofrecen todos los servicios necesarios para poder llevar la actividad a cabo, siendo muchos de ellos opcionales y pudiéndolos contratar tú por tu cuenta si te interesa.
Are you an ambitious business owner? COSME can help you move forward in a supportive business environment. COSME is the EU program for the competitiveness of small and medium-sized enterprises. It helps you access finance, reach new markets, and find the right business partners. Cosme gives financial support, such as loans and venture capital. Find out more on the Access to Finance portal. Funding is also available through calls for proposals, also known as grants and calls for tenders. For grants, the European Commission selects projects contributing to EU policy aims, like sustainable tourism. In calls for tenders, it hires business services to support its activities. If you are interested in applying, choose the funding that is most suitable for you. Check the eligibility criteria and start working on your proposal. Make sure it is consistent, realistic, and defined. Find calls for proposals and tenders on the Funding and Tenders portal. Search for financial opportunities in your country on the Access to Finance portal.
La Fundación Finnova, con el proyecto CircoAx, busca empresas y autónomos innovadores para promover la economía circular en el mundo textil y de la moda. Buenas tardes y bienvenidos al webinario número 62 de MATLAB. Good afternoon and welcome to the webinar number 62 from the Fundación Finnova. In this official Green Week action from the European Commission. Today, we will discuss during the next 2 hours about circular economy, sustainability, and new jobs for the textile industry. Is one of the objectives of this new financial period, and is what we want to share with you, this CircoAx project. And also we have tried to invite relevant speakers from the European Commission, but also key actors in different consortium that are working in that challenge of this circular economy for the fashion and textile industry. And we are going to start connecting with Brussels with Natalia Martinez Páramo. She's the head of unit in a small and medium enterprise executive agency from the European Commission. And perhaps she can highlight the importance for these pilot projects financed from the COSME program, 4 projects. You, at the end of this seminar, you will learn from the different projects, and we would like to look for synergies and to exchange best practice and linking the 4 projects. Why not to try to offer some know-how in the right direction, in the green direction, for this new next generation funding, because in most of the countries, the economic pandemic has become a real drama in terms of jobs and unemployed people. Then for us, all what is inclusivity, all what is the so-called mini jobs, but linking to circular economy in textile and fashion is a must. Natalia Martinez from Brussels, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Juanma. Can you see me and can you hear me? Good.
Perfect.
Good.
Perfect.
Good. So I'm really delighted to participate to this event, Circularity, the sustainable alternative for the textile industry. And first of all, let me to thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to be with you and introduce you how we are supporting SMEs in the transition towards a circular economy from EISMEA, the new European Innovation Council and Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Executive Agency. Let me introduce briefly myself. So, as Juanma said, I'm the head of unit at EISMEA, but most likely this acronym says little to you. In fact, this is the name of the agency that succeeds EASME, the European Agency for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, which I hope may sound more familiar to you. EISMEA began operating just 1.5 months ago, exactly the 1st of April. So what do I do? So at EISMEA, I'm responsible for COSME. You know, it's an EU program developed to support competitiveness of small and medium-sized enterprises. I was watching in the presentation that there was a lot of information of COSME. I'm really happy. And now COSME will be a new pillar in a broader program, the ambitious Single Market Program. So I really welcome this opportunity to introduce the new agency to you, and of course to speak about our work. So with this in mind, I would like now to refer first the role of EAS supporting SMEs and the COSME program, which the new EISMEA has inherited. So after that, I just say a few words about how we are supporting SMEs in the fashion sector and how EISMEA will continue, of course, supporting SMEs via the COSME pillar of the Single Market Program in the years to come, the next 7 years. So it's important towards a circular economy. I believe that we all agree that this planet has not unlimited resources and that we need to learn how to use what we have much more carefully than in the past. In fact, it's well known what our Commissioner for the Environment, Oceans and Fisheries, Virginijus Sinkevicius, said, we only have one planet Earth. And by 2050, we will consume it as if we had 3. So this is a fact. So more than ever, we need to move away from our linear model, extract, produce, through. This is finished. So it seems clear that changing the global mindset means understanding that the environment can be a source of economic growth and jobs, and not just a barrier. We know that the circular economy is a win-win. So we can maximize our resources efficiency while we become more competitive, and of course, to protect the environment. So with all these elements, we know that we need to rethink our economy model completely. So you may be wondering, what is the EU doing? So already in 2015, the European Commission adopted the circular economy package, paving the way for an ambitious and long-term oriented path, including comprehensive reuse of products and better separate collection of waste, increasing recycling and reducing landfilling. This package is not as dense and dark piece of environment legislation, but let's say it is a central element of our industrial policy in the broad sense. In this respect, we have the possibility to boost innovation, stimulate global competitiveness, generate new jobs, and find solutions to the challenges of environmental degradation that have long been of concern to us. But making a step further, in 2018, this first set of measures was complemented by the second circular economy package, including the EU strategy for plastics, the phasing out of the single-use plastic, and the introduction of a monitoring framework of indicators for the circular economy. And building on the work done since 2015, in March 2020, so a year ago, the European Commission adopted the new Circular Economy Action Plan, which is one of the main building blocks of the European Green Deal, is the Europe's new agenda for sustainable growth. The new action plans, what it aims to make our economy fit for a green future, strengthen our competitiveness, while of course protecting the environment, and give new rights to consumers. It focuses on the sectors that use the most resources and where the potential for circularity is high, such as electronics and ICT, batteries and vehicles, plastics, constructions, buildings, and finally, textiles. So, and our path towards a sustainable future is also guided by international agreements that provide us with a solid framework for global action, such as the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and of course, the Paris Agreement. So the transition toward a circular economy is already underway, with front-runner business, consumer, and public authorities in Europe embracing this sustainable model. The Commission will make sure that the circular economy transition delivers opportunities for all, leaving no one behind. From a business perspective, the circular economy provides business opportunity. In fact, independent studies have shown that changing our economy in this direction could bring net saving of 6,100 million. Circular economy approaches could also create a net benefit of almost 1 trillion euros by 2030 compared to the current scenario. This will represent 7% increase in European GDP. The circular economy could create 508,100 jobs. And also it could reduce greenhouse gas emission by up 4% per year. So the good news is that we are going in the right direction, and a large number of European companies are already implementing this model. Almost 3 out of 4, which represents 73%, have taken measures related to the circular economy in the last years. And the preparation for the future starts with the amount we invest in it. In fact, innovation can greatly help to develop the materials, engineering solution, and of course, know-how needed for a credible European market for green products. Innovation is a crucial factor in achieving the transition towards sustainable, low carbon, and circular economy and society. And with EU funding programs like Horizon 2020 and of course COSME, Europe has made a major contribution to improving the sustainability and circularity of the project. So this brings me of the programs EASME and now ISMEA is responsible for, and it's my unit, the COSME program. As I said, is the program to support the competitiveness of small and medium-sized enterprises. Until now, until a few days, it has been a separate program, but now is a pillar in a broader program, the ambitious single market program. Why? To create synergies, to be complementarity. In 2014-2020, so the past 7 last year, COSME was endowed with a financial envelope of 2,300 million euros. As from now, from 2021, COSME will be a pillar of the single market program, a far-reaching program with a total budget of 4,200 million euros. What is the primary focus of COSME? Of course, supporting SME. How? By actions aiming to easy access to new markets, improving conditions for business, and of course, encourage the development of an entrepreneurial culture. When it comes to support of SMEs in the fashion sector in particular, because this is what we are talking today, EASME in the past and now ISMEA has been managing several actions. This is justified by the fact that these SMEs provide an important contribution to the EU economy. 5 million people are directly employed in the fashion value chain, and over 1 million are employed in the high-end industries, making them one of the most vibrant and creative sector in Europe. This industry, from complex and interlinked value chains, from the design and manufacture of fashion goods, such as textiles, clothing, footwear, leather, food products, jewelry and accessories, and high-end goods to the distribution and retail. But in addition to contributing to the EU economy, the fashion industry can also play a major role in reaching the objective of climate neutrality by 2050, as target set by the President of the European Commission. In line with this, and to contribute to the implementation of the Circular Economy Action Plan, the new industry strategy and the textile strategy, COSME has been funding several calls in the fashion industry. One example is the call proposal on circular fashion we launched in 2 in 2019, which funded the Circular Innu Buster project. This goal aimed to help the fashion industry become more sustainable and turn the business model into a more circular one. But to do this, it is also crucial to enhance the competitiveness and, of course, to improve the environmental performance of the European fashion industry. How? By building capacity and, of course, supporting small businesses, SMEs, designers, and startups in the sector. So thanks to this COSME project, more than 120 promising SMEs, designers, and startups in the fashion industry will receive direct support. And this support includes not only capacity building, but also technical and also financial support. The objective is clear. We want to support SME. We want to support design, their innovative application, their product, their processes, or ideas for sustainable and circular fashion. Being circular in the fashion industry will generate import cost saving, and it will boost innovation for sustainability, which is indeed a competitive advantage. Just to give you an idea about the impact of this goal, only these 4 projects funded involve 25 European organizations coming from 15 member states and covering all Europe region, East, West, North, and South Europe. Be assured that EASME will follow closely and monitor its implementation. You will be leading SME across borders to support and build capacity for sustainable growth in a sector that, as we know, have been heavily impacted by the pandemic. Moreover, you will be supporting SMEs to overcoming obstacles in using sustainable solutions for productions and services. So we look forward to good practices and recommendations coming generated from your project for the sector to become more sustainable and more circular. And we look forward to the new market opportunities for SME, providing sustainable solutions in the fashion industry. As I said, COSME will now be one of the pillars of the broader single market program, and EISMEA will continue supporting SME via COSME actions, together, of course, with other initiatives. EISMEA, the new agency, brings together the European Innovation Council, programs related to small and medium-sized enterprises, and other part of the single market program, and the Interregional Innovation Investment Initiative. As I said, for the long-term 21-27, the European Commission proposed to dedicate 4 billion program to empower and protect consumers and enable Europe's many small and medium-sized enterprises to take full advantage of a well-functioning single market. And this new program, the single market programs, consolidate a range of activities that were financed previously separately. Now we will be more a coherent program. This will reduce overlaps, improve cooperations and synergy, but at the same time, allow us to build on our previous success. So let me conclude to say that, as you can see, we are in a moment of transition to a new programs in a world that has gone through a major changes in more than the last 12 months. For many of us, this is a little bit scary. But despite these important changes, I'm pleased to say that our mission will be, believe me, the same: to continue providing high quality support and an effective service to SME and entrepreneur, and to strengthen the competitiveness, innovation capacity, creation growth, and sustainability of the EU's economy. At the agency, we'll make all efforts to continue supporting SMEs in the fashion sector whenever we can. In this sense, I'm sure that we will manage together these difficult times. And we will certainly continue focusing our effort to redesign the global economy by applying the circular economy model in the industry and in our SMEs via our European funding programs. And let me finish quoting the French chemist Antoine Laurent de Lavoisier, who said, "In nature, nothing is created and nothing is destroyed, but everything is transformed." So let's continue changing the foundation of our model of production, because circular economy is a project for a long-term sustainability. So I wish you all an interesting, productive, and exciting event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Natalia, for sharing these interesting figures and also to understand the policy that you are planning from Brussels for the next, we can say, 10 years, because as the period is 2021 up to 2027, but that is for the rule N+3, we are talking financial period up to 2030. And allow to me to, we have to understand what next generation means. We are talking in terms of GDP in 10 times what the program of the Marshall Program, that was the big recovery economic plan after Second World War. We are talking 10 times that plan. What is a tremendous challenge for the governments, regions, also enterprise association to absorb that funding, that opportunities, because we need to recover our economy because of this economic pandemic, but also with the impact in the jobs. I would like to also to highlight the importance of the program LIFE, Environment, Life, Circular Economy, and even in the new program LIFE, there will be the Life Energy. It's a new program that means some of the waste that from the fashion and textile that we could not reutilize, that we could not transform. Okay, we could do waste to energy with in a sustainable way. Anyway, it will be published in the following days, maximum 2 weeks, and we are talking of thanks to the European Parliament in the negotiations with the Council, we are talking of 5,500 million euros. And our hope in this program, in our participation, is to convince to you are listening to us, that there are other tools that could help in this challenge of sustainability and circular economy for the fashion and textile industry. Then LIFE is going to be approved. After, we could talk about, there are other tools, European Social Fund, of course, that they have different tools for creating new jobs. Why not many jobs around this new industry of circular economy in fashion? But okay, we have the resources are available, but we need talent. And it's because of that, with the consortium, in our consortium, and I'm sure in the other 3, there will be public-private partnership strategies and open innovation tools to identify the best talent ideas to implement in the real market. Allow me to connect now with Mr. José Francisco García. He's the director of the Institute European of Design Innovation Lab. And as leader of the CircoAx project, he's going to explain what's the CircoAx project. On behalf of Innova, in Brussels, we are really proud of being part of this consortium. And the floor is yours, Francisco, José Francisco.
Thank you, Juanma. I hope you're hearing me well. And okay, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the presentation. And I'm very happy to participate in this first CIRCOAX presentation of event. And I hope you find it interesting, because we are very excited with this project. You know, Juanma, it's very exciting to us. Yes, my role here today is to tell you some dates of the project, and also why the Institute, the Instituto Europeo di Design, the Design European Institute, is within the project, leading this terrific consortium with organizations that are leaders in the different fields of action. We are very, very proud of them. And what does the ID expect from this project too? For this, I will summarize our approach, our values, and our objectives in the project using some concepts or keywords important for us. I'm going to share my screen for a moment to, it's okay, you can see my
It's
screen.
okay.
Okay. This is that's right. First, as Juanma said, a few words to remember the basic data of our project, because Circular InnoBooster Fashion and Textile is a European project of the COSME program, you know, with 2 years of duration and a budget of 1,128,000 euros, 75 co-financed financed by the European institution, and the consortium leading by ID, the School of Design I'm representing now, and with the Finnova Foundation, Text4, Circulab, the Circular Project with Human Nation. And we want to transform the fashion and textile industries through innovation. And how? Because we want to support entrepreneurship to generate business models based on the circular economy, SMEs and startups looking for new SMEs and startups, sustainable, circular and regenerative companies. For this, we are going to create the CIRCOAX, the platform and accelerator circular, collaborative and cooperative co-design platform. Through this platform, we hope to start in September of this year. 30 SMEs, startups or entrepreneurs or designers from the industry will be selected, and the beneficiaries will receive technical and financial assistance with endowment of up to 12,000 euros. So the CIRCOAX by Circular InnoBooster project has some keywords for us, and these concepts, these key concepts are our motivation and our guide. And these words are, first is design. Our keywords are design, because the idea, and in my case, ID is a design school. It trains future designers, but it also wants be an active agent in transformation and change processes in the world. That is why we want design to be an essential part of these changes and to help improve the processes and projects that are being implemented. And the ID Innovation Lab that I leading is the ID laboratory that we use as the ID tool to participate in these processes. We apply innovation to real projects so that design improves reality. Another keyword is fashion. It is one of the most important manifestations of design. The ID is a school of Italian origin, the cradle of the best designers in the world, and the base of an essential economic sector. Sustainability, because design only makes sense if it contributes to improving our lives. It is not just an aesthetic concept. It is above all a way to improve our experience with other people and with the environment. And that experience will only be better if it is designed to last, not to be aggressive or negative to our environment. Another concept is circularity. Design tries to solve problems in a useful and beautiful way. In fashion, design is the tool to achieve aesthetic, functional, and sustainable results.
30 seconds.
Sorry?
30 seconds, Jose
30 seconds, okay, yes. The use of new materials, innovative manufacturing processes, technologies, or achieve better results, everything is part of the essence of design as a discipline. Two more words. Share, the consortium that we lead has enormous value of us because it allows us to work with companies and organizations that are different from us, but with the same objectives. The world will only advance if the different people work together, if we mix knowledge to truly achieve new and better solutions. And the last word is people. People, because everything we do makes sense only if it enhances the life experience of real people. Circular projects have a strong social and human character. It is our most important and most ambitious goals. This is our values shared with the other partners of the consortium that is going to launch Circuax. It's going to be months of hard work, but I hope it will end with a fantastic result, and we are going to do everything we can to achieve it. Thank you, Juanma.
Thank you very much. And we are direct with Mr. Noeda from Finnova. He's our head of innovation and internationalization of small and medium enterprises. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I will be very brief. I want to share my screen just a moment. Okay, I'm going to introduce you some of, well, as you know, Circoax focus will be to support entrepreneurs in fashion and textile industry. So also what I'm going to explain is focus on them and the European opportunities for the SMEs in this new period of European funding. Of course, as we all know, this Circoax is a COSME project. As Natalia before has explained, there will be a lot of opportunities in the COSME program for SMEs. Also, as Juan Manuel has told before, the LIFE program it's a good opportunity as well to fund environmental and sustainable projects in fashion and textile. But I'm going to explain a specific program. This is called the European Innovation Council. This program within the Horizon Europe framework, it supports innovative SMEs to develop new innovations, some deep tech technologies for new innovations that could be in the fashion and textile industry. Okay, there are three different lines: the AC Pathfinder, Transition, and Accelerator. The first, the Pathfinder is focused on emerging technologies new ideas, new totally innovative technologies. It is focusing states of development, on low states of development, TRL 2-3, and it offers grants of up to 3-4 million euros for small consortiums. Okay, and then for a bit more advanced proposals for companies who already have a product ready or a system or a business model ready for starting with marketing activities, the European Commission has launched the EC Accelerator. This program was previously known as SME instrument. It's already has been 6-7 years since it was launched. And this year has increased a lot the budget, so it could be a good opportunity for all the startups in fashion and textile, because they could benefit from up to 2.5 million euros in grants, 2.5 million euros, and up to 15 millions in investment. So it offers a first phase with grants, non-reimbursable grants, and 15 millions in investment for internationalization and marketing activities. Okay, there it's important to mention that it is open to all kind of innovation, but there is some specific lines for the Green Deal for economic recovery. So all the solutions in CIRCOAC's acceleration program related to sustainable textile and circular fashion, they could have an opportunity in this specific line. Okay, just to mention, there are this year in 2021 there are 2 specific dates to apply for this grant. In 1 month, which is too close, and then in October you will have a new opportunity to apply for this. Okay, I'm going to explain very briefly how it works, this AC Accelerator. You need to apply first in a step 1 diagnostic. It's a short proposal in which you need to submit a 3-minute video and a PowerPoint explaining your innovation, your process, how much money do you need from the European Commission, and so on. And then if you are successful in this step 1, you are invited to prepare the design phase, the step 2. There is an online platform with artificial intelligence tool to help you with all the process. You need to attach some annexes, and then if you are successful in this second step, you could get invited to an interview in Brussels, and in case you pass this interview, you will get the money for the grant money to start with your business. Okay. Usually this grant is focused on development activities, so the innovative projects that want to present to this call, they need to use the grant money for development of everything. It could be a new business model, a new technology, blockchain technology for the fashion industry. Whatever you have, you could use it with this grant, and then you will get in conversations with the European Commission for the investment, for the 15 million investment, in case you need it. If you only need the grant, that's okay as well. So just to finish, I want to encourage all the companies that are hearing us today to apply for this process. Of course, to apply first for the CIRCOAC Acceleration Program, which will launch in July probably, and then of course we will support them to apply for this grant, for the EC Accelerator grant, and other opportunities in the European Union that will be launched soon. Okay, so thank you. And if you have any other question, of course you have my contact. You could contact CIRCOAC's project. You could contact Finova to discuss it a bit more and to see more opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adrian. As we can see, we have here another tool that could inspire small and medium enterprises, not only from the European Union, but other third countries like as Israel. Anyway, from 500,000 euros up to 2.5 million, 70% is a lot of funding. But of course, as Adrian has mentioned, you have to have a real patent, and to have a patent, or you have to have an innovative way of doing business or distribution or whatever. And we are now connecting directly with Paloma Garcia. I assume, Paloma, you are in Madrid. She's the director of the Circular Project and president of the Spanish Association for Sustainability, Innovation and Circularity in Fashion. Paloma? Okay, yeah. The floor is yours. We are out of time.
Thank you very much, Juanma. And good afternoon, everyone. And I want to thank you to everyone to join us to this afternoon. I'll be quiet. And I want to say thank you to the European Commission, and specifically to the COSME Funds for selecting our proposal. Let me introduce myself. I'm the founder, as Juanma said, the Circular Project, an integral, sustainable and fashion project that is working within the economy at the common good and triple button, and is going beyond the simple act of marketing fashion. As well as Juanma said, I'm the president of the Spanish Association for Sustainability, Innovation and Circularity in Fashion, and the director of the Circular Sustainable Fashion Week Madrid. That's so in an inclusive, eclectic and creative way that another more conscious and sustainable way of dressing is possible, and guarantees for the first time a zero emission catwalk. The Circular Project in October of 2018 received the Best Practice Award in the Value Chain category, granted by CEPAIN Foundation in collaboration with Madrid City Council. It's the first and unique multi-brand space specialized in sustainable fashion in Madrid, and it was born 7 years ago. Is a disruptive and holistic project around sustainable fashion in order to promote eco-design. We support the creation of brands with a positive impact through active dissemination and training. At the same time that we are giving to the designer a space where to show their work. It's one of the first textile projects audited by the Common Good Economy, and also belongs to the Triple Balance Sanas company. Its name, the Circular Project, refers to the circular economy because we are working in order to create an industry that optimizes resources until the production cycle is closed. At this time, is preparing its B Corp certification as a fourth sector company, socially and climately responsible. The Circular Project was the inspiration and the first promoter of the European project Circoas and Circular Innovoster, with all this kind of work that I now explain to us. And together with Human Nation and Saranjalda, we propose to replicate on an European scale a way of working where all the necessary aspects for the implementation of the circular economy in the textile industry are taken into account and supported. From those who are cultivating the fibers that will make our clothes, to those who are designing, or those who are selling clothes, or that people that are communicating or teaching a sustainable way of dressing. In all of these sectors, the circular economy has to become a reality, but also is necessary a more human way of doing business. Circoax wants to support for different fronts everything that needs to be transformed in order to decarbonize our textile industry, at the same time become circular. And the most important, we want to create a more friendly world. And it's all I have to say. Thank you very much. And as my mate Adrian said, and invite all of you to apply and build with us a new industry, a new way to dress our clothes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paloma. As we can see, we have here different potential partners of new potential consortiums. We have been analyzing some different calls. Allow to me to remind the Interreg program. Why not to propose, and we should start to work now with some regions that has this textile approach. We have, after we will have the approach of Mr. Ferrando from the region of Valencia. They have a lot of shoes, fashion, and textile. Okay, with other regions, in Portugal, they have experience in textile, in France, in Italy. Let's try to go to that challenge, public-private partnership for this circular economy, also in the Interreg programs. It will be published at the end of the year, and we are talking of projects of around 2 million euros up to 75% of funding. Okay, thank you very much, Paloma. And now we are going to connect with Saram Yalda. He's the founder of Human Nation, but not only that, he's passionate in circular economy. From many years ago, we have been working in that field. He's also alumni from the Instituto de Empresa Business School in the Master of Green Business. I think it was the name. Anyway, Saram, thank you very much. You have the floor.
Hello, thank you very much, Juan Manuel. Am I sharing the right screen that says CircoAx? No, let me see if I'm sharing. Yes. Okay, so great. So it's wonderful to be here. And yes, again, thank you for organizing the event. And also thank you to European Commission, the COSME program, to give us this opportunity. And also it's great to be part of the other winning 3 projects that gives us a huge scope, of collaborating at European level. So this is all very exciting for us, not only as partners here, but also to work with the other partners in the other projects, because we can be really quite a big alliance. So for me, it's a wonderful opportunity to be here collaborating with the Circular Project in co-designing this more regenerative approach. So what we try to bring in, of course, which we share with the partners, is a deeper, more regenerative approach to design. Because we believe that at the moment, a lot of the solutions that are being pushed are either technological or they are dealing with the waste once it's already created, like, for example, recycling. And the waste pyramid tells us that the last thing we should do is recycling, because the circular economy actually principle is that we don't create waste in the first place. And the waste that we create are synergetic, can be assimilated by nature. So ideally it should be biodegradable. But of course, if we can't biodegrade the material, then we should think of how we can recycle that, at least in the technical cycle. But at the moment, the huge, vast amount of waste we're creating that's not even recyclable is obviously a huge problem. But also, even the circular economy creates a lot of pollution, because a circular economy that's extractive and polluting isn't really a circular economy. So even if it's not linear, but it's circular, but in the circular cycles, it's polluting, it's extracting, it's not treating human beings with dignity, it's not ethical, it's not distributing wealth and value in the right way, then it's not circular economy. It's just circulating material, but it's not really from a cradle to cradle point of view, and also from a other aspects of what's important to be regenerative. So it's not regenerative. And this is what, so on a positive note, what we're trying to do is bring this deeper approach to a regenerative business design so that we become conscious of the actual depth of the problems. We try to understand the planetary limits that we live in and make a deeper connection with the planet we live in, and feel part of it rather than above it, to not think that we're above nature. So this kind of basic understandings of design for us is fundamental. So we're hopeful that perhaps we are finally at the beginning of a global ecological age where we make this deeper connection with our environment and with our fellow human beings. We think that there are, according to Presencing Institute at MIT, for the last 15 years, they've been working on their project. They identified that there is currently 3 major divides in our society and our economy. One is the ecological divide that's created by the division between the self and nature, because we're not connected to the nature in a sufficient way. And there's also a social divide because we're not connected together as fellow human beings in a sufficient way. So there's divisions between us as human beings. And the other one is a spiritual divide, which they define as not understanding ourselves well enough or not seeking our highest potential. So we're not aware, we're not self-aware enough. So we're just running around many times not knowing why we're doing what we're doing. And this is creating also a lot of problems. They express this problem as, for example, suicide rates are higher than people actually dying from conflict. There's all kinds of psychological problems in our society that's got worse, like depressions, anxiety, loneliness, and all kinds of problems that have a root cause elsewhere. So what they say is to deal with these structural issues and systemic issues, we need to go deeper into the source of the problem, the thinking that's behind causing these problems. So we need to go to the source and identify the pain points. So by knowing where the pain points are, we can actually work with that. So where are the pain points? For example, we know that the fashion and textile industry is one of the most polluting industries, if not, they say the second, but it also creates a lot of social inequity in around the world. So for example, the 2 most important acupuncture points, which is the symptom, is potentially the emissions from climate change and social inequity, but of course the use of water, the use of soil for cultivation of cotton and things like that, for example, all the waste that's created, the pollution, the air pollution, the chemical pollution. So there's all kinds of things that we understand are the pain points. So we need to understand what is the source of the problem and tackle the source of the problem, not only dealing with the symptoms and trying to just bury the rubbish or recycle the rubbish. So what is it? We require different kind of design thinking. And eco-design thinking moves us away from the business as usual, which is here, where everything that's out here is seen as externality. So a business operates to maximize profit and just dumps everything else into the planet and for society to pick up the waste. We think that we need to move away even from a user-centered point of view, which is design thinking, to what's called a planet-centered and a societal and cultural centered point of view. So we look at the common good and what's best for everybody. The current economic model is also very extractive. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in that, but it's circular in a sense that it's circulating all the wealth in the hands of 1% of the global population. You can see all the reports generated by Credit Suisse, by the World Economic Forum, and by Oxfam International every year that explains that since the financial crisis of 2008, the wealth concentration has actually worsened. And advanced economies like USA have the same wealth distribution as countries like China. So what are we looking for? We're looking to contribute to this project by moving towards this new economy, which is based on humane values and a deeper purpose and an ecological design, but using science and technology and intelligence, digital intelligence for good.
Time is over, Saram. Try, please.
Okay. Yeah, so I will just say that this triple bottom line approach is, for us, it needs to be centered on a deep purpose to create economic equity, ecological viability, and also social well-being. So we are very happy to, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, obviously now because of time, but I will just leave it here to say that I'm really looking forward to work with you all, and I really invite you also to participate, whatever kind of project you are that fits into circular economy, bring it, and we will learn together as part of the accelerator program, and we will find better ways of actually solving these challenges. And CircoX is about co-creation, co-design, collaboration, and doing this together as a collective. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your passion, Saram. We will have the possibility of this networking after this webinar, I'm pretty sure. Okay, and now we are going to connect with Sabadell, what is a city in an industrial area with a lot of tradition in the textile industry. And we are connecting with Mr. David Ayo, who's the Director of Sustainability at Texfor from the Confederation of the Textile Industry. David, the floor is yours.
Yes, well, thank you very much. The people who doesn't know Sabadell was called the Manchester of Spain. Here we have like a great and big tradition in textile sector. Well, as my colleagues were doing, thank you very much to the European Commission, thank you very much to the organization of this webinar, and thank you very much to all the people who are listening us. Well, just for introduce me a little bit, I was working in the textile sector. I am working in environmental aspects from 5 years ago. I was working for many brands, Inditex, Pepe Jeans, Tendance Group, even small ones as EcoAlf. And I was auditing a lot of different facilities around all Europe. I was visiting almost all the industrial areas in Europe. And now I am the head of sustainability of Texfor. Just for introduce a little bit Texfor, we are like the main Spanish industrial association of textile sector. The world industry, textile industry is really common. The people are using, but we are the industrials. We are the people who are doing the yarns, the fabrics, dyeing these fabrics, and doing all the the supply chain. And other tip that I would like to push is that textile sector it is not only fashion. Okay, we have automotive, we have technical textiles, and well, as you know, there are a lot of different textiles products. So just to do that tip too. Today I would like to explain to you a little bit of the context of the circular economy. I would like to say thank you to Sharam, because I will not need to explain some things, so I will try to focus more on the challenges of these industrials, and the most part are SMEs, as Natalia was saying in the first time. And later I will let you some tips about how the European legislation, even Natalia was doing too, is pushing to go through the circular economy. Well, first of all, Sharon was telling really good. We, in the end, like the abstract is like we are living in a stone in the middle of the world, of the universe. We cannot live till now in other places. Day by day, we have like more population, so we need to be really caring about the planet, trying to find regenerative solutions for the places that need to do that. And I will not explain anymore because Sharon was explaining really good. Nowadays, as Natalia was saying in the first part, the circular economy, the legislation in Europe is moving really fast and really hard, and with the focus really clear to try to impulse circular economy, stop the waste, try to be more efficient in water, in energy, and in all the inputs. This is really important, and this I would like to remark because nobody was telling till now. Circular economy is not only waste. The people are thinking always about waste, but there are a lot of things like energy, water, and all the inputs that you could imagine. I would like that all the people will check the circular economy plan, because there you will find a really nice information from the textiles industries, we were creating some strategic that this circular economy plan is saying that will be some specific strategy for textile sector related with circular economy. So from the industrial part through Euratex, that is the association of all the industrials in Europe, we were creating a strategy that is there. I hope that somebody will check because it's really interesting too. And later I would like to remark a little bit what are the textile industry challenges. As I was telling to you, I was visiting more than 100 facilities around all Europe. The most part are SMEs, and our textile industries are working with a really high social and environmental standard. Wastewater, energy efficiency, air emissions, here in Europe, it is lucky that we have a really nice legislation, and this legislation is on top around all the world in all these topics. What is happened that sometimes this kind of legislation, it goes that you need like spend money to get this legislation, and sometimes the market doesn't care about that. So the situation of the industries in Europe is really a pity, because you can, if you go to some industrial areas, you can feel like day by day there are less industries. Our SMEs is really hard to try to be alive. If you work for fashion, sometimes even the orders are like irregular, so it is not easy to be alive. And other topic is that there is not investors in the SMEs. Somehow our SMEs, sometimes the people are normal that are familiar companies and so on, and when the people become old, they don't have maybe people who is going to be through, and sometimes there is not investors who wants to be taking these facilities, or even like invest. You know, it seems that the economy, it is not interesting for the economy. Even that, now I am going to say to you some real cases, you know, that you can feel really strong that we are working in a good way. I would like to start in the spinning. Just for not lost too many time. The people are thinking that the recycled products are new. This is not true. In the world 50, 60 years ago, the raw materials were not cheap as now. So there are a lot of spinners that are working like with recycled or regenerative cotton from 100 years ago. We have still alive these spinners, and in Spain we have the lucky that with Portugal and Italy, we are the place with more density of facilities. And in the case of regenerative cotton, we are leaders in Europe. We are doing like 60,000 tons per year with this regenerative yarn. Later in this supply chain, the spinners are one part. This yarn could be dying. Here in Spain, we have Tejido Rollo, which is one of our biggest facilities or industrials. Take the note that the biggest industrials in Europe are the smaller ones in Turkey or in Bangladesh or in China, just to say you how we are working. Mm-hmm. And this Tejido Rollo, we're creating some technology that is able to do the dyeing process, that is a wet process that need a lot of water, a lot of energy, and a lot of chemical products. And they are able to do without use water. So less water, less energy, and less chemicals. And this is like from some small company, which is like 50, some small production unit that are only like 20 persons, you know. It is really hard to develop these technologies, and sometimes really, really difficult to keep like to have this kind of technology like just only in your own. Later, all our facilities are used to be like leaders too in decarbonization, accused of energy efficiency. The energy efficiency is a must. If you are not efficient in energy, you are out of the market because the energy is really expensive. And now our industrials, all of them, are starting to use like photovoltaic panels and paying green energy and so on. Yes, Juanma.
David, we are out of time.
Sorry. Well, just to Yes, yeah, I am finishing. Just to show to the people that our industrials, like in all the supply chain, we have real cases and many challenges to face. But well, in any case, just I let to you to check in this circular economy action plan and to check the strategy for textiles, that there are a nice consumer agenda. Now it's open the Eco Design Directive. If somebody want to participate, could do it. And later, the ambition of Europe is really hard, related with be carbon neutral and zero pollution ambition. Juanma, sorry for being late. And well, later I think that we have some time to some questions. So if somebody wants to ask to me something, sorry, Juanma.
Muchas gracias. Buena tarde. Excuse me, but we have people that they really need to go out in time. Okay, now we are going to connect to the other part of the Atlantic. We think that all the Green Deal package, all the strategies from the European Union in circular economy and now we are going to connect with Colombia. I assume it's in Bogota, and we are going to connect with Mr. Tobias Wirman. He's from the European Union. He's from the delegation of the European Commission in Colombia, and he's the official for the Green Deal, European Green Deal. And the floor is yours, Tobias. And guten Abend.
Buenos días desde Bogota. Good afternoon to Europe. Yes, my name is Tobias Biermann. I'm the Counselor for Environment, Climate and Employment here in the EU delegation. But before, I worked many years in the European Commission, also on topics like eco-design and circular economy. My short intervention: Colombia is one of the most important countries in the textile industry in Latin America after Brazil and Mexico. And Colombia is famous for its quality of products and the innovation of textile designs. The textile industry in Colombia is dominated by some large companies, but we have also 500 medium-sized and small companies active in textile manufacturing, so providing about 200 direct jobs and 600,000 indirect jobs. So textile industry is important for the Colombian economy, 6% of GDP and about 24% of employment in the country. So it's really important here. The most important production is about cotton, 43%. And in addition to the production of fabrics and fibers, the Colombian textile industry is also active in the manufacturing of clothing for local and export use, including jeans, trouser sheets, pillows, and so on. Most important in Colombia is the city of Medellin, that is the heart of the Colombian textile industry, producing around 50% of the textiles. We in Colombia are, of course, as I think everywhere in the world, aware that the situation in the world of fast fashion, we have in reality not much really reuse and recycling of textiles. We really have just downcycling. And another problem in Colombia is in many parts of the world, the waste management is not really centralized and well organized. It's in the hand of the municipalities. So the quality and the mix of fibers allow normally only just the downcycling. Circularity is frequently discussed, but it still requires new technologies and materials, major changes and cross-sectoral collaborations, an innovative, efficient, competitive production system with best environmental practices, and also a transformation in the creative design, as well as changes in the culture and mindset of brands and consumers. But I have, of course, some good news from Colombia. Colombia is the first country in Latin America that has a strategy now for circular economy. And this strategy is not specific for the textile sector, but it includes a lot of initiatives. Firstly, to promote the design of products that allow recycling, the design of new textiles from organic cotton, to extend the lifetime of products, and also to reduce the use of material and energy in the production. Colombia is now in the process to move forward and strengthen innovation and implementation of technologies with cleaner processes in order to incentivize the recovery of raw materials and to reduce the generation of textile waste. It is estimated here that the mode system in the country could reuse up to 50% of its textile waste. And what is, of course, beyond this longer use or second use of textiles needed is much better sorting. We are aware of labels like the circularity ID that allow much better sorting of products. We need better recycling, including also chemical recycling, and the market for recycled fibers that is not yet there. But for us, it's of course clearly the private sector that must take the lead in exploring new formulas and mechanisms. The EU here in Colombia supports the circular economy strategy and also other strategies for climate goals. We give advice. We have, for example, the Switch to Green facility, and we run projects with the private sector on sustainable production. We also follow here with member states like Denmark and Netherlands, the P4G is a partnership for growth that has also a circular fashion partnership. And to specific things in Latin America, we have just launched 2 projects, one called Low Carbon Business Action that really wants to have a matchmaking between European and Colombian companies. And we have also a specific project just launched on plastics. It's called CPAP, Circular Plastics in America projects. This is together with Colombia, Brazil, and also Chile and Canada. And the objective of this project is to support the transition towards sustainable production and consumption of plastics, including textiles in the Americas region, and to contribute significantly to the reduction of marine and river litter, including supporting European approaches, policies, and business models. And to give a flavor from Colombia, one specific interest here is a cluster about innovation about bioplastics, biodegradable fibers, and biopolymers, because Colombia is such a country rich in biodiversity. This project, CPAP, is just starting, so companies interested are invited to join and to cooperate. Last sentence, finally, Colombia is also active in the Global Alliance for Circular Economy, GACERE, launched by the DG Environment. And also Colombia leads the Regional Coalition for Circular Economy. Both include UNOP and UNIDO. So Colombia is really a leader in the region for circular economy and also well connected internationally on circular economy. Best regards from Colombia.
Vielen Dank, Tobias. We have still 1 minute. What's your vision about a program like Euroclima, or perhaps also what about the triangular cooperation about Eurosocial? Do you think in the new period we could work together with Colombian entities for sharing the contents, the results, the ideas from these projects, European Union projects, but in Colombia?
Yeah, of course, the priorities for the European Union in Colombia, of course, firstly, the peace process, and second, environment. And in environment, we have a lot of bilateral projects, but this is mainly really on climate and other issues. But of course, we have a Euroclima with now, I think, 30 new projects starting. And we have also good cooperation via Eurosocial on workers. We also have a good cooperation with the ILO, International Labour Organization, where we can also work with that. And of course, I see there's some more potential to do that. As said, at the moment, we don't have really direct projects with the textile sector. But I think also with Euroclima Plus and Eurosocial Plus, we have some opportunities to strengthen the cooperation.
Okay, perhaps with all the talent we have in this round table, we could propose a TAIEF program in Colombia, as we have organized in the past in countries as Chile. Please, our best regards to your ambassador, Patricia Ñombart, that is from our region, from Valencia, a textile region. Okay, and now we are connecting from Bogotá, Colombia, to Valencia. Valencia with Mr. Francisco Ferrando. Buenas tardes, Paco.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. I'm with Ivacia, that's the Regional Development Agency of the region of Valencia. And as such, we share the concerns that have been masterfully explained by Natalia Martinez at the very beginning of this conference, for which I thank you all. It has also been said in passing by Director General Revuelta how Ivacia is constantly involved in Interreg and another most solvent European initiatives. And it is through Interreg that we have participated in very concrete textile projects in the past, which were not probably focusing on circular economy precisely, but another technological aspect of the textile sector that, of course, to some extent contributed to, at the time, to the early concern of circularity. Other more recent Interreg projects have, of course, focused more on circularity. I have to say that they haven't been as specific enough to focus on textiles, but we have one very recent one which has been of tremendous success, which was based on industrial symbiosis. I have to say that, of course, IS, industrial symbiosis, and all things related to circularity are the main concern of the Valencian regional government. It is EC, I mean, circular economy, it is the principle that guides all the doings of IBATE. So it is through these recent projects that that we learned what a lot of things are being done, but they are the diaspora, they're widespread. They're not. We are not aware of the of taking stock of how much there is in place. So the idea, little by little, matured to start an overarching initiative, which is an observatory of industrial symbiosis. This observatory, as I said, will take stock of what's going on, what has been recently done, and will make sure that the initiative of industrial symbiosis, not only, of course, of the textile sector, but for all sectors, will be widespread and open to all sectors in the region. But I have to say that one of the sectors that have been chosen to start the audits that will be going on in enterprises to detect their potential for industrial symbiosis, one of those important sectors is the textile sector. So that means that together with flagships that we have, technical flagships, I would call them, such as the Technological Institute for Textiles, HITEX, and business associations, we intend in the days to come to start very significant in terms of numbers and volume of auditing of the textile firms that show potential, that have shown an interest already in circular economy aspects. Those firms will be, as I said, audited for detecting and expliciting the opportunities they have to be circular and to work with others in cooperation to diminish, of course, carbon print via industrial symbiosis. Not only that, the observatory will also focus on the startups, will help startups that's given an opportunity to, through cooperation, to diminish carbon print by doing industrial symbiosis. Both basing its doings on mitigation and adaptation, right? Mitigation and adaptation. Let's not forget, I very much liked what Sharam said before, that first things first, there's a lot to be done, remains to be done in terms of mitigation, meaning that we have to reduce maximum so that we have the least waste at the end. So that is very important. As a matter of fact, Lisa, let me just quote one example of one of the most international and that's gaining the interest all around the world enterprises in Valencia. It's called Genealogy. It's a company that works with jeans, you know, the trousers, jeans, Levi's, and whole world is demanding their products because they have this technology through which they can give the final touches to jeans, the final without water. They can give a pair of jeans the appearance of being washed or ragged without using water. They just use a laser machine to do that. So the CEO was saying how the future of the fashion sector will be about not what is manufactured, but how things are manufactured. So, and in this fashion, he said he highlighted how 20% of the production of textiles, fast fashion, is not ever used. 20% is just discarded. It's not even sold as a bargain. So he said how it is very likely that in the future, in order to avoid that 20% manufacture which is never used, a customer will order what they want, and that will be delivered to him or to her next day. That business model may take place in the years to come, very, very shortly. So that may lead to proximity. That leads to manufacture being brought back to Europe to some extent, right? Let us not forget that the standards that Europe is setting in terms of respect to human rights, in terms of circularity, cannot be fulfilled by many countries that at this moment are, of course, where production is. So as this CEO said, it is in all likelihood that if we want to respect the high standards of Europe, there is a chance that some manufacture will be brought back to Europe, and that means jobs, right? Jobs that will also respect the principles of circularity and therefore respect to climate change. One last thing I wanted to emphasize, and we're also working on, is also another observatory for finance, which is linked to the, as you all know, the very powerful tool that the Commission has made available, which is the taxonomy for finance, right? Taxonomy for finance that really makes it clear where to put the money. So we will know which textile enterprises, businesses to support also.
Time is over, Paco.
Yeah.
Time is over. Okay. A final phrase, if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Time's up. So no, I'm finished. I'm just let's think about the finance. Let's put together sustainable finance with sustainable manufacture.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Francisco. We have listened. They are more than open to work under the Interreg program.
Right.
And let's work together in that. And allow me to highlight the support from IBACE in some open innovation calls in the past for other fields, like we have been working in the polluted water from industrial sector last year, the Acceleraton, under the support of the DigiConnect, the Startup Europe Awards, the Startup Europe Accelerator.
Right.
When in CircoAx, we are going to launch our challenge to identify the best startups to help them to finance some support, we will appreciate your support from IBACE and
by all means.
Eurada. Anyway, thank you very much, Paco. And now we are going to connect. We are going to connect with the Ministry of Industry in Spain, with the EOI, is the Escuela de Organización Industrial. Is an academic, quite interesting academic body, practical in the field of sustainability. And we are going to connect with Mr. Santiago Ramos Navarro. He is the coordinator of the Green and Circular Economy course at EOI, and also he's the founding CEO of Reloops. You have the floor, but please, we have to take consideration with time. Santiago?
Okay, no problem. It's okay, the video and the microphone?
Yes.
It's perfect. Okay, thank you. No problem. It will be very short presentation. Thanks to Innova and also to the Circular Project for this opportunity to participate in this wonderful event. And I'm going to share very fast my presentation. Let me 1 second. It's okay, I think. Yes. Okay, perfect. I follow in the same line like some previous speakers, Sarah and David also. I will continue. Let me 1 second. Okay, perfect. Now, following this line, we live in a linear economy model. We all know it, but in general, we feel comfortable in it. Thus, we need to change this situation because it's not so sustainable to happen. This model consumes resources like energy, water, wood, raw materials. You can see in this slide these different kind of materials that we are doing at all. We are always in rush. You can see we lack time for everything. The pace of life is frantic. We don't live. Life is slipping out from our hands in every second, in every minute along the day. This leads us to an unsustainable situation, like you can see in this slide. It's not Photoshop, it's real, totally real. We lose resources like water again, energy, minerals. We have pollution, climate crisis. I say it's totally real situation. This model is finished, and we have to change. But how? This is the question. How we can change? We are ready to make a change to a more sustainable and circular model. We already do a few things. For example, at home, in our houses, we separate the garbage. We use some lights in our houses also. We recycle papers, for example, in our offices, in our industries. Also, we make some changes in our companies. For example, we can use recyclable or returnable packaging, for example. We recycle our industrial wastes and other small activities we do in our companies in this way around the sustainability and circular economy also. But it's enough, from my point of view, really, no. We have a lot of work to do and we have to continue in this way. They are small steps which help to an exhaustive system. We need more changes in our personal and professional behavior. Totally. For example, we are now in this event, wonderful event, talking about sustainability and circular economy. This is perfect, it's wonderful, really. We all speak the same language. We agree that we need changes and we are working on them. But when we are out on the street around us, in our village, in our city, what is the situation? What do we find really? I can show you a small sample, personal situation. A few years ago, it was real, believe me. My neighbor asked to me, okay, what is your job? And I was thinking about it. What can I say? It's not very easy. Okay, I told to him, I am circular economy consultant. Perfect. I was thinking, perfect. Very small, quick, but he told to me, wow. And what is that? What are you doing? Do you work in a bank, for example? Incredible. Believe me, it was true. Totally. The problem is that sometimes we speak very different languages. Within our circles, we understand each other because at the end we speak the same language. But this doesn't happen with everybody. This is a big problem. This is where following with my neighbor, the education and information on sustainability and green circular economy is very important. This education begins in our child at the school. After that, we continue the high school, the university. This is progressive, okay? From basic concepts for our young children, for example, saving energy, water, separating waste, consuming only what we need. This is the basic status, mainly, to more complex ones for the future of professional development of our university students or technicians. For example, eco-design, in manufacturing, additive manufacturing also, 3D, robotics, so on. Okay? This training must be progressive, must be adjusted to the needs of each education level. and logical. It's not the same for a child in a school or a young in the university. And in addition, it's totally transversal. Okay? For different areas of knowledge, like technology or humanities, it's totally transversal, as I say. This evolution in training affects everybody. It is usual to mistake thinking that this applies only to a technician or a technical or science education. No, it is false totally. Right? It's transversal totally. This is not the case.
Sí, Santiago.
I finish. Okay, 1 second. Let me 1 second. Only the last point. We have a very high evolution, and only one piece of information. In the following 10 years from now, 66% of our jobs will be totally different. Are we ready for this change? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Santiago. We are in a hurry. We are going now to connect with, I think, Buenos Aires, with Natalia Stanchi. She's the institutional manager of the Fundación Mediapila. Allow to me to explain that we have an interpretation into Spanish. You have there interpretation and you can choose or Spanish or English. Y buenas tardes, Buenos Aires, y gracias por esta nueva. Thank you very much, because it's not the first time that we learn from Argentina in this exchange of best practice in this field of is social innovation in the field of circular economy and textile. The floor is yours, Natalia.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Well, my English is not very good. So like he said, it's going to be my partner, Carlota. She's going to translate in English and I'm going to talk in Spanish. So, Mediapila es una organización social que opera en Buenos Aires, Argentina, y nos dedicamos a promover la inclusión laboral de mujeres que viven en situación de vulnerabilidad social y económica. Nuestra misión es promover el labor digno y realmente incluir a la mujer en el trabajo y hacerlo con perspectiva de género. Nuestra visión es fomentar igualdad de oportunidades.
Perdón, Natalia, esto no es consecutiva, es una interpretación. Carlota, tú puedes hablar en español en el canal, es que si no vamos a duplicar el tiempo, ¿sí? Entonces, el que lo quiera escuchar en español se pone o escucha el original, que es a ti, Natalia, y el que lo quiere escuchar en inglés se mete en el canal de interpretación. Empieza Carlota, que no es consecutiva, es simultánea, ¿sí? Sigue, Natalia.
Perfecto. De todas formas, estoy explicando lo que está en la presentación.
Vale.
Nuestra visión, entonces, es fomentar la igualdad de oportunidades y nuestros valores son el compromiso, el respeto, la empatía, la alegría y la solidaridad. Lo que queremos contarles es que nuestro trabajo es integral, es decir, contemplamos la vulnerabilidad en la que viven las mujeres acá en Argentina y en Latinoamérica, porque son mujeres latinoamericanas. Y para hacer esto tenemos un modelo integral de trabajo. Uno es la capacitación en oficios, para que haya una herramienta de trabajo para esas mujeres. En estos casos las capacitamos tanto en costura como en tecnología. Un segundo eje es el de empoderamiento personal. Y este eje incluye fomentar la confianza y la autoestima de estas mujeres, contemplando la vulnerabilidad en la que viven, que no es solamente económica, sino que es social. Y un tercer eje, que es el de inserción laboral. Y este eje se desarrolla capacitando a las mujeres con herramientas de comunicación, responsabilidad, trabajo en equipo, herramientas blandas, que también incluyen fomentar el emprendedurismo de estas mujeres. Estos son los tres ejes, son los mismos que estamos viendo en inglés en pantalla. Y por último, y la razón por la que estamos acá, es para contarles cómo es nuestra cadena de trabajo. Mediapila tiene 15 años de trabajo y hace 15 años se dedica al oficio de la costura. Esto hizo que para nosotras sea muy simple terminar creando un área de producción textil que emplea a las egresadas de la fundación, a mujeres que pasaron de alguna forma por la fundación. Y nuestra cadena de producción en Mediapila tiene 3 ejes fundamentales. Uno es el eje social, que tiene que ver con que funcionamos como un taller escuela, como una primera oportunidad laboral para las mujeres de Mediapila y como una mentoría con todas ellas en el taller de la fundación, en el taller textil. Una segunda pata que tiene que ver con el medio ambiente, porque nuestra cadena de producción es responsable, es sustentable y es digna, brinda oportunidades de trabajo digno a todas esas mujeres. Me gustaría aclarar que en Argentina, en Latinoamérica, ser mujer y estar en situación de vulnerabilidad probablemente te lleve a quedar en trabajos informales o en trabajos que no están bien pagos, por lo que esta parte de la cadena es fundamental. Y un tercer eje que es la economía circular. Mediapila, toda su cadena de producción está hecha, como les comentaba, en una cadena de producción responsable que constantemente nos ayuda a seguir capacitando más mujeres. No solamente las telas son reutilizadas, los materiales son todos sustentables, sino que al invertir en Fundación Mediapila, al comprar un producto Mediapila, cuando una empresa elige Fundación Mediapila, está eligiendo apostar por una economía circular y está eligiendo reinvertir en capacitaciones para más mujeres. Eso es un poco el modelo de trabajo de Fundación Mediapila. Si tienen alguna pregunta, quedo a disposición y muchas gracias por el espacio.
Pues muchísimas gracias y saludos a Argentina. Y bueno, thank you very much to Argentina and to Natalia and to Carlota. You are doing an excellent work. Can you, from our European Union perspective, it's difficult to understand how hard is now in Argentina the economic pandemic. How many people is suffering a lot? And okay, you are helping a lot of people in that social innovation, and congratulations, and keep helping people through this circular economy in textile. And you have listened the representative of the European Commission in Bogota. Why not in Argentina? We can propose to the European Commission a TAIEF program. TAIEF is a technical assistance to explain public-private stakeholders in Argentina about legislation in circular economy, in textile, water, why not about climate change, and so on. Buenas tardes, muchas gracias. And now we are going to connect again. We are going to connect with Ingrid. We are going to the round table with representatives of COSME projects, and we are going to connect with Ingrid Willems. She's CEO and co-founder of Data Scouts, and she will explain us a parallel project also under the COSME call that is called S for Fashion Project. You have the floor, Ingrid.
Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, because of the delay in the time, Ingrid couldn't present, so I will take over. My name is Angeliki Georgio-Costa. I'm the project manager of S for Fashion and at the European Creative Hubs Network. Thank you, Circular Innovation, for this invitation, and the consortium and everyone for this great event. So I will share my screen and start presenting now. Okay, so I think you can all see my screen.
Go ahead.
Oops, sorry.
Baristo.
Thank you. Cool. So S for Fashion is empowering small and medium-sized enterprises to introduce sustainability and circularity within their work, and to create new ways, new processes for sustainable and circular fashion. We want to identify which are the best practices to date, and through the three years life cycle of this project, to create evidence-based knowledge on sustainability and circular economy for the fashion industry. So our consortium, the project is led by the European Creative Hubs Network. It is a peer-to-peer led network with a mission to enhance the creative and economic and social impact of hubs around Europe and its neighborhood countries. Partners are involved in entrepreneurship. It's an entrepreneurship support organization founded by the Libra Group that provides resources, education, and award programs for startups and businesses globally. Then Data Scouts, Ingrid is from Data Scouts, but she couldn't stay longer. It's a data technology company from Ghent, Belgium, and they have the ambition to make their customers the best informed companies in the world with the combination of useful data, AI, and human expertise. Last but not least, you all know Instituto Europeo di Design, an international network dedicated to design education in the fields of fashion, design, visual art, management, and communication. We are collaborating with IDIREC's team of designers, researchers, and strategists based in Madrid. It is a team which develops research programs and innovation projects in collaboration with a wide pool of stakeholders from all over the planet. Last but not least, Zip House, the only fashion hub from the Republic of Moldova, is representing an innovative platform for learning, collaboration, networking, promotion, and prototyping, which gather more than 7,000 members of the community from students, entrepreneurs, mentors, and experts in the field of fashion. As the rest of the projects under the same call discussed earlier, we are running with the contribution of the COSME program of the European Union. The project's vision is to really change the perspectives and redefine the fashion sector, and to respond to the needs of our time for an ethical, inclusive, and responsible production and consumption. Our ambition is really to find which are the best practices, which are the most up-to-date practices today for sustainable and circular fashion, and to produce evidence-based knowledge. And also amplify our knowledge and whatever is created, the results of the programs with the European fashion community. At the moment, we are running a call for proposals. It's out since 19th of May. And our objective is to connect, select, support, and empower 25 transnational partnerships in order to work collaboratively and create and validate sustainable and circular processes, business models, which are much needed for the fashion industry. We will select 25 pilot projects that will benefit from a bespoke support program. So really, we are going to respond to their needs and co-design with them their support program to respond to their actual and real needs. The pre-selected finalists will be invited to a parallel training program. So whoever is not successful on this call, they will still have the opportunity to be involved in the program and benefit from it, learn and network with the other projects. This is why, because we want to create a community that gets open to knowledge, and the community that will be created through a digital peer-to-peer platform. So yes, I'm running a little bit. So yes, the proposals we are seeking this period is calling for innovative collaborative projects which are aiming to pilot novel processes to create a product, a service, a business model with a scale-up potential for sustainable or circular fashion. We have created the digital platform of S for Fashion to support the matchmaking of this call, but also to connect the like-minded SMEs and key opinion leaders of sustainable and circular fashion. So we invite all of you to become part of it and benefit from the real-time knowledge exchange that will be happening towards this platform, to contribute your knowledge and create with us a knowledge base to share the best practices and use cases. Through this platform, we will be informing everyone about our next steps, about the events, the workshops that we will be doing, roundtables, and also the actors between the platform, between them, that can exchange real-time knowledge and their challenges, what they have to offer, open calls and opportunities. Thank you for inviting us again and for having us here today. And we invite you to become part of S4 Fashion, to register to our platform, and also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thanks a lot.
Ευχαριστώ.
Παρακαλώ.
And Karispera. I'm pretty sure, Angeliki, that we can work together, because in your open call, it could be support also from the Startup Europe Awards from the European Commission DigiConnect to have more visibility. And why not? We could cooperate in the next call live. We have, as we have been mentioned, a way of helping that companies could be accessing new EU funding. Anyway, I think we should do our homework next week. We can do a homework to have a Zoom to talk about mutual cooperation. And okay, now we are going to connect with Arthur ten Vold. He's the executive director at Ecopreneur, from the project Fashion for Change project from Haarlem, Netherlands. Dag, Arthur.
Dag, good day, and thank you. First of all, can you already see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me. So thank you for the opportunity to give a brief overview of the Fashion for Change project. My name is Arthur ten Vold, the Executive Director of Ecopreneur. And this is also a COSME-funded project, because what is the case? There was a call from COSME and 4 projects were granted at the same time. And you just saw S4 Fashion. This is Fashion for Change. This is all from CircoX by Circular InnoBooster, and then there's also Small But Perfect. And these 4 projects together, they have a joint goal to help 120 startups, designers, and SMEs to incubate, accelerate, and scale up innovation applications for a sustainable and circular fashion industry. So this is a joint goal with 4 different approaches. And if we then go to the Fashion for Change project, then you have 4 objectives. By the way, also the objectives have similarities. Facilitate capacity building and transnational cooperation, provide companies with a methodology to make better use of resources, support companies with grants and individual coaching, and maximize the impact of the project in the long term. And in our case, the consortium consists of the partners listed on the right, 5 partners managed by Civita in Estonia, then Catalysta Ventures, ECA Art Academy, also in Estonia. Then there is Singleton for the digital design and platforms, and Ecopreneur, my own organization, which is the European Federation of Sustainable Businesses, representing 3,000 ecopreneurs, so ecological entrepreneurs in all sectors, including textiles. And together, these partners have the knowledge and the networks to do this project. And we are going to do it in 3 years. So that's the first difference with the other projects. We are now in a preparation phase to map and match challenges. So we're indeed also mapping what are the best approaches. We're going to launch a virtual knowledge hub planned for September. And then next year, we're going to launch a growth program to really help the SMEs that starts in February 2022. And the program ends in January 2024. So we will have an open call to identify and invite teams for a fashion sprint and an accelerator program. So there in the fashion sprint, 35 selected teams will present their ideas, and we will select 25 finalists, have a financial support of 10,000 euros per team, plus mentoring and technical support, and also 5,000 euros for 5 selected teams in the last stage. Just because we're approaching the end of this afternoon's meeting, I have a similar message as the previous speaker. Engage with us. This is what we'll do in the next 2.5 years. We have already put out a poll with questions. It's only 5 minutes, so please find this. These are our social media accounts. You can find it on LinkedIn, also on Twitter. And if you have any questions, please send me an email. Then I can also send you another link to really register as a stakeholder. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Arthur. My question, would you be interested in thinking in a potential Interreg project with your regional authorities, with Valencia and with others? As a question.
An Interreg program, absolutely. We're always open to suggestions to see if we can collaborate with regions throughout Europe, to see if we can, increase the bottom up coming up from entrepreneurship, so that we get more examples and that we can collaborate. Yes, that would be very interesting. Yes.
Okay, as you can see, we have from now 2 potential partners from an Interreg project. The region of Valencia. Okay, this is what we pretend with this with this meeting, also to do networking and to look for synergies. And allow to me in these 2 minutes to highlight the importance in cooperating with under the framework of life. And allow me to remember that life offers more points in the evaluation if we have. It's not mandatory, but we can have a partner from other country. Bedankt. And now we are going to connect now with Fiori Zafeiropoulou. She's the coordinator, Fashion Revolution Greece, founder of SOFA, Social Fashion Factory. It sounds really good. Small but perfect, not Fiori, the project. And where are you? Kalispera, where are you?
Kalispera, I'm in Athens.
In Athens, okay.
Yes, I'm by the sea. I'm just looking at the sea, so that's the good thing.
Okay, wonderful.
So, thank you very much for an amazing panel and discussion, and I'm very happy if I can contribute to what has been already mentioned and discussed. I'm also the director of Ethical and Circular Observatory, Fashion Observatory in Athens University of Economics and Business. And this is the coordinator of Small But Perfect. Small But Perfect is, as it was said before, one of the 4 projects that have been funded by COSME of the EU to accelerate SMEs in the circular fashion industry. So about Small But Perfect, our partners include Fashion Revolution Global and Fashion Revolution local offices in Greece, Portugal, and Germany. University of Bocconi, World Fair Trade Organization, Fair Trade Advocacy Office, WLY in Sweden, Fashion Accelerator, and Impact Hub Lisbon. So we're a lot of partners trying to make a change. We believe that to accelerate SMEs in the circular fashion, we need to accelerate the accelerators. So we one of our activities is to actually work with 8 incubators that could be fashion weeks, associations of COSME countries, and to provide them a small grant to disseminate the educational toolkits of the acceleration program to SMEs. We're also organizing industry workshops that are led by University of Bocconi. The first industry workshop is taking place mid-June with stakeholders from all partner countries. Another important pillar of the program is the creation of a network of circular fashion stakeholders. And for that, we work with Common Objectives. I'm sure you know Common Objectives is one of the biggest platforms for sustainable fashion brands, and the first to be, and from the first to be set up. So the our network creation, as well as all the program and call to actions, will go through Common Objective platform. Our designated website and call to action will be published in mid-June as well. They're led by Impact Hub Lisbon. And we invite sustainable and circular fashion SMEs, transnational SMEs, with an innovation to register. To us, it's very important, the ethical element. So we are going to prefer SMEs that are considering the social impact and social elements around the fashion industry. The acceleration to SMEs itself contains an educational part with city boot camps and online modules, access to R&D center and lab, and we're working for that with Portsmouth University. And then a series of open studios event during Fashion Revolution Week. And we're working for that with Neonit that is hosting the open studios for Fashion Week Berlin. And a last but very important pillar of the program is the policy making and the advocacy. So we believe that policymakers need to be mobilized and engaged with our project. So we will run a number of policy dialogues, including in Brussels. And the end product of that is going to be a white paper policy recommendation. And to add on that, something that happened not only yesterday. So the Minister for Development in Greece, with whom I met yesterday, decided to form an agreement and an institutional collaboration with the Observatory and with Small But Perfect in order to help them design a number of funding toolkits for companies in the fashion supply chain. And also another novelty is the fact that the last month we've been approached by venture capital coming from Boston-based and UK-based capital and impact venture capital that is centered around sustainable fashion. And this is, I've been in this sector for over 7 years now. And it's the first time that I can really see funding and policy makers in terms of national government policy makers here in the South addressing and understanding the importance of supporting the scaling of sustainable fashion. This is from my part, if there is something that...
Evaristo, if you allow to me, Fiori, we can share with the audience that we are also cooperating in the education field in some calls in the Erasmus call. It was last week, and thank you very much for that, and to Sanam also. Okay, now
thank you.
And Evaristo, because we're cooperating to exchange and to do networking, to submit new proposals that allow to us to have a day after a day after of this project, funding from COSME. And thanks COSME, we can cooperate under Interreg or live. Anyway, now we are going to connect and to see, sorry, I don't know if Saram wants to say something, Saram, because you were going to introduce the people in this panel.
No. I think really I like the idea of the accelerators, and I think, and another thing that was a real motivation for us when we did this application was this idea of a slow accelerator, because we said, the Silicon Valley model, it's all about doing exits, and it really helps maybe 1% of SMEs, that can really make it, to become these big companies. Whereas this kind of slow accelerator idea that, we tried to propose in this proposal was that we want to accelerate the transition to a slower economy that's not so exhaustive on the use of resources and so polluting. And also we want to accelerate slow companies that don't want to necessarily grow so fast. And growth can also be lateral, because sometimes we see like single entrepreneurs have to work really hard, and single startups have to become the star, and this is the model we've been sold. We think that growth can be lateral, where you can have collaboration with more distributed companies and networks. And as you were saying, Juan Manuel, all these alliances can make much stronger, resilient economies, rather than just one company taking all the cake, and also the value from created from those companies. How do we distribute that? So this is another big question about our economy, is how we distribute the value. So I think what we're doing here is a fantastic start to work collaboratively. I think we're demonstrating that very well by having all 4 projects here. And thank you, Juan Manuel, for making this possible.
Thanks to you. We are cooperating from many years up to now in different projects. Okay, now we are going from Athens, a wonderful city in the Mediterranean coast, to Barcelona. We are going to connect with Clara Mallard. She's the responsible of the area of sustainability and textile circular economy in MODAC. MODAC is the regional cluster in fashion and textile. And bona tarda, and the floor is yours, Clara.
Thank you, Juanma. I'm going to share also my screen. Can you see it?
Sí, adelante.
Okay, sorry, I cannot see it properly. I'm sorry.
But we can see it.
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much for inviting the Fascinate project to this event, and thank you very much to the CircoAx for organizing this event. I'm going to present the Fascinate project. This project is a COSME project, but it's held into the Cluster Go International program. So it's a little bit different from the ones that have already speak. We are almost in the middle of the project, and it's I think 18 months project. The whole name of the project is the Sustainable Fashion Alliance for International Markets. And the main, the aim of the project is to design a future strategy through a sustainable model that allows textile and fashion companies to internationalize, incorporating technological solutions. And that will help to improve processes and also to develop new value chains, always with a circular and sustainable perspective. So the consortium and the partnership of this project is held by 5 clusters: the Bulgarian Fashion Association, the Lifestyle and Design Cluster from Denmark, el Centro Tecnológico de Industrias Textiles y del Vestuario from Portugal, the Catalan digital cluster and the Catalan fashion cluster, both from Spain. As I said, this project seeks to build a common joint international strategy for SMEs with this point of view, or these two key concepts of digitalization and sustainability, and work within or investigating three markets, that these are US, Canada, and Japan. Okay, the objectives, or the main objective of the project, is also to build a cross-sectoral network between these industries, the fashion industry, the textile industry, and also including inside the technological sector. Also wants to promote new European value chains, and finally build this a common internationalization strategy for sustainable brands and companies across Europe. So the main activities of this project, there are a lot of them, but the idea is that all the outputs of the whole activities that we are going on with the project create this common internationalization strategy for SMEs. One of the key activities we held was the new value chain workshop. We did a design thinking session. So all participants, we had brands, we have very different kind of experts, managers, designers, work to identify challenges and gaps inside the industry, the fashion and textile industry and the digital industry. And afterwards, few ideas came up and were selected for future researching and prioritize it into the new strategy that we have to build. These new value chains, or these key ideas that we want to investigate or promote inside the strategy are related with sustainability and circular economy. The first one is related with transparency, the lack of transparency during the whole supply chain, and which opportunity it brings working with blockchain in this aspect. The second idea, also related with the lack of information in garments, came up with a kind of passport or product passport, including the information of the footprint of each garment. Another idea was to promote or to invest also in creating knowledge and transferring technical skills to managers and also to designers in the sustainable and circular design aspects. We also taking advantage of this situation, this COVID situation, as an acceleration of boosting the internationalization through digital platforms, and also working with new production processes like make to order, moving away from seasonal fashion, and promoting other ways of productions. And of course, the last one, using that 3R concept, reducing, reusing, and recycling, but also redesigning processes, relocating productions, and reimagining the future fashion sphere. So with all of these outputs of these activities and the results of all the outputs that we came up with, the idea is to build up a joint internationalization strategy for the benefit of the European SMEs. So that is what the Fascinet project is about. And here are some links if you want to keep in touch with us. So thank you very much.
Gracias, Clara. Ahora vamos, sorry, and now we are going to, we have some questions in the chat. I don't know if David Ayo is available. David, I don't know if you are available. The question, if not, we can answer. Is from Aglaglia Gomez D'Alessandro. Hi, David, thank you.
Juanma, I'm here, sorry.
If you want to answer, you have
Yes, the question is regarding with
regenerative cotton.
Yes, I was answering already to her, because this concept is saying, like, it's the word that we are using to speak about the recycled cotton, like regenerative cotton, but from many years ago, that it is not related with regenerative economy, even have something closer, you know. But well, that's it. I was explaining before to him, like in private chat.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I don't know if there is more questions.
Can I add something to that? This is Juan Manuel.
The floor is yours, Saram.
Sorry, I mean, this is a very interesting topic, because I think that we see like closing of the gap. You know, I think that also what Santiago was explaining, that, you know, a little bit of green is good and sustainability is always good, and regenerative is even better, you know, but there's kind of like a closing of the gap between how we behaved before and now. I think regenerative agriculture, where the concept comes from, and this living with the land and really integrating the way we work with the way the earth, the nature works, is an optimal idea. What everybody is trying to, I think, in the regenerative, people who really believe in this are trying to get to. But I just think that there is always a challenge with the business as usual, where they take words like green, sustainability, and circular and give it a twist and water it down, you know. And we see this happening with circular economy, where it's been reduced to just recycling, basically, of waste. And the same is going to happen with regenerative culture, because now it's the buzzword, and purpose economy. So I think this is always a challenge. We have to see how we go into the more deeper issues of the real source of the problem, and how we really go to solve these problems that we have, ecological, social, and also how sometimes it's used in the mainstream as a way of saying that they're really doing the change, but the change is really incremental or sometimes very marginal. So this is, for us as experts, I think it's a question that we have to see, how do we really go deeper into these issues, because we have 10 years, 12 years, according to UN, to really transform the economy, to decarbonize, because we're really in deep trouble, you know, in terms of the problems of climate change, the way consumption and production has been running for the last 200 years. We really hit the limits. And for 50 years since the Club of Rome report, we have just not done pretty much anything. So we now have 10 years, and this is how we work. You know, human beings, they need to be in crisis before they actually really do something different. And I think it's a huge opportunity for creativity and doing things, but we have to be honest about the real nature of the crisis, and also come together to really solve the problem. I think this is just something I want to add. Regenerative culture is a very deep approach to transformation. It's very different to the way we do things today, and there's a big gap to fill. I think it's a huge challenge and huge opportunity to really change and transform.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we are out of the time, but I would like to share with the more than 60 people that stay in this interesting webinar, and thank you very much for all the talent you are inspiring all of us. I would like, Eduardo, si pudiera poner las preguntas. We are now, just before finishing, we have some questions, some tests, and we like, we ask to you to vote. Would you invest more money for the garments if you were guaranteed that they were ethically and sustainably produced? Okay, is to understand what's your vision with these three questions. And after we will share the right answer. What aspect of the fashion and textile industry concerns you more? Microplastic, mass production, worker rights, air and water pollution, and finally, what is the estimation of recycled garment globally? In 30 seconds, we come back to you with the answers. Okay. Eduardo, cuando tengamos los resultados, los compartimos. Okay. Okay. The first question is just to understand. Okay, congratulations. The people, I assume that the people that is connected to this webinar, they are serious people. Thank you very much. Congratulations for the answer. About the second question, is mass production. What concerns you more, mass production? And after, microplastics and air and water production. Finally, about the question, what is the estimation of recycled garment globally? Congratulations again. The right answer is the B, 1%. Okay, and also we have other questions. Please, Eduardo, about the second serial of questions about the water. Yes. How many liters of water does it take to make a cotton t-shirt, in your opinion? 2,700 liters, 1,200, 800 liters, 450 liters. Just to make a cotton t-shirt. Second, when must the EU member states start collecting the textile waste separately? 2022, 2030, 2025, 2033. Finally, what percentage of new jobs do small and medium enterprises represent in the European Union? 52, 67, 85, 38. And is the final questions. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the right answer is, unfortunately, I would like it's the second, no? Is 1,200 liters. But the right answer, I think, is 2,700 liters for a cotton t-shirt, not sustainable. And what we want to promote with this webinar and these projects is to do more sustainable. And why not to recycle water? Okay, about the second question, when must the EU member states start collecting the textile waste separately? The right answer is the third, 2025. Congratulations. You know that there is a directive, the landfill directive, that obliges step by step to reduce the amount of tons of what we are throwing to this landfill, what they call in Latin America el relleno sanitario, o vertedero. Okay, and about the in the third, of course, it's obvious. I don't know if it's obvious. Congratulations. The right answer is 85%. It's a small and medium enterprises. Okay. I want to thank all the speakers, the stakeholders we have had through Zoom and also through Skype, around 85 people. Up to now, stays around 60 people, more than 60 people. I want to thank for your time, for your talent, and also all the team that has been working hard to do possible this webinar, especially to Julia, that has been coordinating this webinar from our Finova team in Brussels. And I want to thank also Eduardo, Daniel, and Alvaro from the informatic and all the IT team from Finova. And of course, people as Salam Yalda and other members of Finova, and also from CircoAx and from the other 4 projects. Okay, this is the starting point, I hope, to cooperate together under different calls. We have seen some examples, and let's be in contact. As in the following month, we are going to share with you the next next textile generation website in English that pretend to publish, of course, for free, all the news you have. But in the meantime, let's share this information as you have done about deadlines. Let's cooperate through LinkedIn, social media, because I'm pretty sure that some of the advice or support from the other projects can help our entrepreneurs and vice versa. And let's work in that. We are in the right moment. You know, we are starting 2000. We are starting this new financial period. We have 750,000 million euros from the next generation fund. We have 5,500 million euros for the life. We have the Interreg program. We have the Horizon Europe, around 100,000 million euros. Okay, it's not a question of lack of funding. We have talent, we have patents, we have in Europe universities, we have entities from Latin America, from other countries as Japan or Asia, where they have signed in the last 1 year. In the last year, Canada has signed a free trade agreement with the European Union, Korea, Japan, Mercosur is going to do that, Mexico. Let's work together for this challenge of circular economy in the field of fashion, textile, footwear, etc. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. And now you will have some info about future events and some videos. Thank you very much. Stay safe with COVID. Thank you.
Ideas. There are ideas that change the way we work.
In other centuries, they would have called it magic.
Ideas that got us connected.
Hold the line a minute.
That made us communicate better with each other. Ideas that got smarter and smarter and smarter. They're the ones that caused revolutions.
Goodbye, David.
And others that seem like a thing of the past now. There are the ones that are obsolete and ideas that promised us freedom, but in the end delivered us nothing but stress, that we tried to compensate with funny ideas. We thought of something different. A simple idea that turns idle workspace into places where you connect with companies, where you share knowledge with other creative minds or digital nomads. Where you are is where you work. You spend fewer hours on the road and you gain precious time for a better work-life balance. It's called Work Hero. Is it a game changer?
I beg your pardon?
We like to think so, but we'll let you be the judge of that. Check out Work Hero on workhero.com. Work Hero, connecting space and knowledge.
Are you an ambitious business owner? Cosmate can help you move forward in a supportive business environment. Cosmate is the EU program for the competitiveness of small and medium-sized enterprises. It helps you access finance, reach new markets, and find the right business partners. Cosmate gives financial support, such as loans and venture capital. Find out more on the Access to Finance portal. Funding is also available through calls for proposals, also known as grants and calls for tenders. For grants, the European Commission selects projects contributing to EU policy aims, like sustainable tourism. In calls for tenders, it hires business services to support its activities. If you are interested in applying, choose the funding that is most suitable for you. Check the eligibility criteria and start working on your proposal. Make sure it is consistent, realistic, and clearly defined. Find calls for proposals and tenders on the Funding and Tenders portal. Search for financial opportunities in your country on the Access to Finance portal.
La Fundación Finnova, con el proyecto CircoAx, busca empresas y autónomos innovadores para promover la economía circular en el mundo textil y de la moda.
delighted, and I hope we'll be able to do it again, and also that the solutions which were showcased here can maybe inspire real-life solutions in the future.
Es un honor que hayan contado con nosotros como aceleradora, con nuestro programa Startup Europe Accelerator, en el primer hackathon con el director general de innovación de la Comisión Europea para soluciones en el campo de cambio climático y reducción de emisiones.
I also congratulate Finova, which was part of the winning team, a team which worked on a really interesting solution to make construction at long last sustainable. Well done. Thank you very much.